Welcome to In Your City Show. We are here bringing you the show from Studio STL 17. You know what 17 means? We're on the 17th floor. We are high up here, but we are still the Lou Information Station at louinfo.com, streaming 24/7. Also, if you're listening live, of course, you're on the new KLIS 590 AM, but the audio is fantastic if you go to louinfo.com, whether you want to watch it or if you want to listen to it, there you go. But of course, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, the In Your City Show. Go ahead, leave us a message.
Find us everywhere.
Yeah, if you know, maybe you have a story to tell. Maybe you have something great you'd like to share. Reach out to us. Let us know. Maybe you're interested in your business being part of our show and partnering with us where we can share your message in a sophisticated, elevated brand. So we got an exciting show today. I'm
excited about it.
Looking forward to it. So, of course, it's brought to you by City Lifestyle Magazines. Gorgeous luxury lifestyle magazines mailed directly to the homes. 15 zip codes, actually, we go to. That's quite a few.
It is quite a few.
With the 3,000 plus businesses, 45,000 homes, every month a new theme, different stories to share with you and enjoy. And so we love it. Sometimes they're from around the world, local. You're always going to have what's happening local in our magazines, but everything's a little bit, depending on what our theme is for the month, it's perfect. But so we're excited. So let me tell you what's on our show. I think you know, Gordon, but those listening might not. So we are going to raise a glass today with none other than Billy Busch.
Looking
Billy
forward
Busch
to
Sr., that is, for an exclusive conversation that you're not going to want to miss. He's best known as the author of Family Reins, which you can see the gorgeous book right there. And of course, it's the extraordinary rise and epic fall of an American dynasty. Billy opens up. He's going to talk about the triumphs, the challenges behind the legendary Busch family legacy. Also, of course, he's got something that we got to experience that we're going to talk about too, his beautiful farm. So we're going to get into that conversation as well. He doesn't know it, but I need some scoop. I'm going to need some answers. He didn't bring his wife, Christy, and I probably need to sit down with a glass of wine with her so I can get the details.
Billy.
He may want to run.
I don't know how to really set you up for this and how to keep you
I'm that girl, like Gordon comes home and he's been with friends, and they're talking, and I ask him question after question after question. I want the scoop. And he's like, I don't know. I didn't ask that. I'm like, you were with that person for 3 hours. How do you not know how many kids they have, where they're going on vacation, who they're dating, if they're anything that's going on? He goes, no, we just played golf. I know we got a new driver.
Yeah.
So I need the info. I need the 911 or the 411, whatever.
You're not going to get it from me because I am not Rona Barrett. Remember that? Gosh, that's a name we haven't heard in
I can't even believe that just came out of your mouth, actually.
Rona Barrett. Gosh, she was like the scoop lady back in the day. There could have been
a million people you said,
well,
but
she
you
was
picked
the
up
one
Rona
always
Barrett.
got the scoop,
You got to have the scoop. That's what makes life exciting.
And then, of course, here in St. Louis, we had Jerry Berger. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. That was the column, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And if your name was in it, you were worried. Is it good or is it going to be bad?
Gosh, I can't believe I thought of him, too. It's like those are names that I haven't even heard of in forever.
You can't even remember someone's name that you're talking to that you know real well in front of you, but then you're pulling Rona Barrett, and I just forgot his name.
Jerry Berger.
Jerry Berger.
Burger's Bits. Wasn't it called Burger's Bits?
And that even came to your head.
Yeah, something like that.
It's back to school. I wonder how the parents are doing right now with their kids back out of the house. Nobody.
How many of them open the liquor cabinet when the kids out of the
wow.
Would you ever seen the meme though? It's on Facebook. It's the mom. She's out by the pool, laying by the pool. She's got a cigarette and a drink in her hand, and the kids are behind her. She's like, "First day of school. See you later. It's vacation time for mom now."
Don't want to be you, right? So you said that your friend Tom Sandoval. What's going on there?
Tom Sandoval. It's tomorrow night. It is the. Getting close to the finals. Steve Ray Ladson, Circa Mara, they look like a dance team, and then Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras is the name of his band.
Oh, the Most Extras.
Yeah.
Now this is his coming back because he's already won a few rounds, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah. So the top three. That's who he's competing against.
The top three then.
Yeah.
So is that tonight or when is that?
That's tonight.
And tonight will be the winner.
Tonight at 7 p.m. I think so. Yeah. Somebody's going to move on. Yeah.
He got pretty deep when he got up there on stage. When he went up for the very first time to perform on the show, he got pretty in depth. I think he was going to cry there for a minute because he was talking about what a dark black time it was for him because he was actually he had been through, he got, I guess the celebrity gossip he was
named
part of.
He thought he was named the most hated man in America.
Yes.
It's because of some girl he
Cheated on.
Yeah, but still.
Every girl
like,
hated him.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be like the Coldplay couple and do it on TV, where everybody knows about it.
Well, they do. But he's going to show them right now making it. So we kind of get a little tearful up there on stage, and now, everybody's feeling sorry for him now.
Right. So he's doing well. His band sounds good. He sounds good. I remember Tom when he was...
As a little kid?
As a little kid.
It's because we're old.
And he has come so far with his vocal ability. I mean, his singing ability, it's just amazing.
From his karaoke
the transformation
days.
He's made. Yeah, he's doing really well with it.
Yeah, he's a nice kid. It was funny because we ran into him that night we were out, and you're like going up to him like, he's a friend. You've known him as a little kid, and everyone's going, is that Tom Sandoval?
Yeah, Vanderpump Rules.
We'll let you talk to him. Hang on a second.
I think I maybe watched 2 episodes. Sorry, Tom.
Sorry,
Love
Tom.
you, buddy. But
well, the only reason why we're here today is get to talk to Billy Busch, and he's actually here. So we're going to bring him over so he can sit in the chair so that I can get the scoop. I need the scoop, darn
Billy,
it.
I'm sorry
Billy,
for
get over
anything
here.
that's about to happen. I
good
cannot
to see you.
I cannot protect you, brother.
It's
Great to see you.
Oh my gosh, so good to see you.
Thank you.
It's what's so much better about you coming in today and makes it so much easier is that I have to say, if I would have been reading your book first and then knew you were coming in, I'd probably be like sweating and doing all those nervous, things that you do, because it's like you come from like royalty. But I met you on we did a photo shoot. First we came to your event, so I got to meet you as a person, and you're so normal.
I think that's growing up on the farm makes you normal.
Such a nice guy. You're so just... In fact, didn't I come home and say how nice and real you were? And to find out that, I grew up not on a farm like you did by any means, but I had to clean the horse stalls. I had to water the bucket, fill the buckets up. I had to do my chores, and I didn't get out of them very often. So to find out, you did that. You were cleaning stalls and doing the things that you had to do. I did not get to take care of Tessie the elephant. I'm a little jealous of that, right around with Clydesdales. But, you led quite the life. And when you read about that, I probably have been a little bit like, you grew up in a castle, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
How do you talk to normal people like us? You're in a castle.
It's funny. Kelly, you're right about all that. I got to grow up in a way that a lot of people don't grow up. Yes. And most people don't grow up that way. And I really didn't realize I was any different for many, many years. I think it was growing up on the farm. I think it grounds you growing up on the farm. Mm-hmm. We were asked to work by our parents. Not asked, but told to work. Yes. We had to work, like you were saying. We had to take care of all the animals on the farm. We had to maintain the farm. Of course, Grant's Farm was open to the public, so it always had to be beautiful. And I got the lucky job of training the elephants one summer. And so I got to get close to an elephant, like you said, named Tessie.
Oh my gosh.
And she was an amazing animal, and I talk about it in the book Family Reins, about how she protected me from bullies. But I think growing up with the animals, growing up with the farm hands, the people that work there, working on the farm, physical labor, I think it just keeps you grounded and keeps you normal. I think, we never thought we were better than anybody else, or...
But you are. I'm so jealous.
I don't know about that.
So stick with it. So now, but it is a different life too, because your dad was, he was a big man. He was somebody that was very powerful, so to speak, in the world of, Anheuser-Busch, which I have to say, sometimes I feel so sheltered or something in my knowledge of knowing things. And honestly, I'm sure you know this, but I didn't realize that Lily Anheuser, right?
Yes.
That's your great-grandma.
Exactly.
So Anheuser and Busch came, did you know that?
They came together?
Yes.
Yes.
I did not know.
Yeah.
That's kind of the silly
something?
things that people don't know, that's actually your great-grandmother's last name. And then your great-grandfather was Busch. And I mean, I just grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's just Anheuser-Busch. I didn't really think to go, okay, how did that name come about? Making fun of me again.
I'm not making fun of
See
you.
over
No,
there.
no, no.
Keep you out of this room.
I'm not making fun of you because I'm sure a lot of people don't know that. I mean, there's so many things. You guys have been in the community for how many years?
take-
A long time, yeah, many generations.
And probably
she's-
reading this book, people are like, do the Johnny Carson. I did not know that, you know? It's like, it's just incredible.
Yeah, so I mean, just that small little bit of knowledge, I was wowed by that. Then I kept getting gross. Then we have to tell you, we binged watched
Your show.
Family
Oh,
Brood.
behind, what was it called?
Family Brood.
I
That's
can't
right.
even.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Busch Family Brood.
Yeah.
That's what it was
That's it.
called.
Busch
Busch
Family
Family.
Brood.
Yeah, we
It's been a while.
You know what?
It has been 5
It was
years,
really
yeah.
fun. I'm not gonna. It's 10 episodes. We watched them all. We're like, okay. I think we took a break, put a pizza in. We
Put
had
a
3
pizza in.
more,
We watched
and then
them
we
all.
watch it. And I feel like I'm part of the family now. That's why I said, I wish Christy was in here because I've got some scoop that I need to have happen. First of all, we've got Clark and your
This
daughter.
was 5 years ago, Kelly, remember.
Clark and your
Yes.
daughter, they had me in an uproar when they're breaking up in the car. Then we've got your son Billy, who's absolutely adorable. We're Facebook friends and didn't. I go, Gordon, I'm friends with his son. I get on there, so I'm so happy to know that he did move on and married a surfer babe.
He did. He moved
She's
on,
a
married
beauty.
a surfer babe,
And twins, which guess
they
what I
have
brought
beautiful
you?
twins.
You have grandkids now. How
Oh,
many
your
do you have?
book. I have 2 grandkids
Okay,
now.
perfect.
Yeah, those
These
twins.
are yours to take home. That's what I
Well,
thought
thank
it was.
you.
So
I can't
I'm
wait to
excited
re- yeah,
hand that.
they'll
But I
love
guess
that.
you've got to go. Are they in Hawaii or California?
Well, they're in California now, but I think they might be moving to Hawaii. So they're even going further away, which is a bummer.
wow.
But they do come here to St. Louis and they stay with us for
sure they
extended
do.
periods now and then,
The
and
cool
we have more
family.
doggone fun. The kids are so fun, and to be able to bring them out to the farm, we'll get them on horses the next time we go out, get them riding. I hear they're riding dirt bikes now. Their grandfather from Kira, Billy's wife's side, is a big dirt bike rider.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
so he's teaching him to ride motorcycles.
Oh, my
so if he can ride
gosh.
those motors, if they can ride horses
'cause
with
that's
me,
been
right?
a-
Horses have a mind of their own, though. Motorcycles don't. Sometimes you.
I don't know what's more dangerous, honestly,
Now,
but
do you and your wife still take carriage rides?
oh yeah,
Is that what it's
all
called,
the
the
time?
carriage
Yeah,
ride?
yeah. We
Where
go
you-
coaching. We call it coaching.
Coaching, okay,
Yes.
where you put the
Yep, the
kites out. And
four
you
in
know what? I was
hand.
excited. You said, "Come on, Callie." Is it Callie?
That was Callie.
Well, she
Yeah.
was at the farm. I met
Yes,
Callie
you
because I
sure
heard you
did.
saying hi to her, and I'm like, Gordon, I met Callie.
Yeah, yeah.
I was really invested in the show. I just have to let you know. So I do have some deep questions. I need to find out what's happened because you didn't come back with another season yet, and you're leaving me hanging.
I
Just
know.
need you to know that.
I know.
You need to come back.
I
The
was
kids are
hoping.
older.
I was hoping we would come back with another season right away, but it was during COVID.
I was going to
Oh,
say,
yeah.
And
we
I
noticed
think that kind of messed things up a little
That
bit
messed
for
everything up.
Hollywood. And they talked to us about coming back another season. They interviewed us all again to talk about content, what we were going to do for the second season, and what was going on with the brewery and the farm and all these things. And we all had to write out the different things that we could talk about and
Yeah.
the different things we could
It's a big
have
deal to put your
content
life
about.
in front of everybody.
It
I mean,
is.
honestly,
It is.
that is a really big deal to talk about, your problems or things that are going on. And I know it's a show, and I know you can redo things, but it was still real. It's still things that are happening in your life that you shared with everyone.
Oh, you're right. It's not easy to do, especially for a guy who grew up not talking to the media. My parents were like, "You don't talk to the media." Because the media,
They like to
at that
change
time,
things.
they wanted to chase things. They wanted to find some scoop out there, and
still
and they
do.
were afraid it was going to hurt Budweiser sales.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really talk to the media. So I was scared to death to talk to the media back in the day. I think I've gotten over that. The reality show helped me a lot
I
with
think
that.
you did great. In fact,
But-
we really enjoyed it. I can even tell you the last scene, you went into the water.
Oh, yeah.
She left you.
And then she
just
drives
drives
away.
on.
Yeah.
Coaches
Yeah,
on, whatever
see ya.
you want to call it. But
Right.
it
And
really
that-
was fun. And you know what I told him, we talked about afterwards. You have 7 children.
Yes.
You and your wife have been together for how many years now?
35.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your kids were darling. They all are very close.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you can only fake so much on television. There's
Yeah.
only so much you can, and you could tell the real deep-seated love that you all have for each other. And I think that was good to be able to see. I think it really projected who you are. You could tell your boys are very well-mannered. They're hilarious at the same time, having fun. And I thought it was fantastic. And the family party, yeah, we want the next invitation.
You gotta come.
I want to go down the
Oh,
water
I'll tell
slide
you.
into the lake.
I looking back at it now, you know, a lot of reality shows aren't very wholesome, right?
You're right.
In a way. But looking back at our show, I'm really proud of it
You
now.
should be.
I'm proud of the fact that we were close, that it showed great family unity and the importance of family and being together and sticking together and working things out together. And we've always been like that. I got to hand that off to Christy, though. Christy, I wish you were here too, Kelly,
I do.
with us right now.
I
But
have a chair right
she,
here for her and a bottle of wine.
She really is a great mother, and she really, one of her priority was always the family and making sure we all stuck
You could
together and
tell.
were close together.
And still.
So, and I appreciate that, because I don't know if I would have kept us all that close together like she did, but she was
and
really
I
the
loved
glue.
her honesty as well. And I think I'm sure she's a big grounding force for you, because one of the things that, again, I feel like I know you all from her words and things that were said. And she talks about where she came from and who she is. And she talks about coming into a family of like royalty. I mean, going into that castle. I remember the part where she says, I came in a little mini skirt, your cute little body at what, 20
Yep.
years old, whatever it is. And it was a gala formal. And all the women, you can just imagine. And you know,
Oh,
your
yeah.
elegant style of your mom and these gowns. And she's like, and I got a mini dress on and a like, little top.
That's exactly right. And she was the hottest girl there, and I was like, look at this, what I got. Oh, boy, I was so proud.
Isn't that great? We're so proud, and still are, and you
And
can
still
tell that
am,
as
and
well.
still am,
So I
yeah.
think it was just great. She stayed real and then danced on the bar top. It was so funny, but it was just, I really got a sense of just, it made it so much more fun to get to talk to you today, knowing the other side of y'all. And there's always one that's the stronger root of the family, and she, you know, that's
Yep.
just the way it is. But I think that you probably also came into it because you talk about your relationship with your dad, and one of the times where you were right in the middle of your mom and dad on the
coach.
and how you had their full attention when you come from a family of 7 as well.
It's 7 kids also,
yeah, and then
yes.
you go and have 7 too.
Yes,
So when you
7
had
is heaven.
So you had that time in between them and your dad. You felt like you were pals.
Right.
When you kids had a job as a kid
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, you know, we were almost like an employee of Dad's to a certain degree. Dad expected a lot of us, and Mom supported him and made sure that we followed what he asked us to do, and again told us to do. And it was like kind of a boss-employee relationship a lot of the times. So we weren't real close that often. But to have the occasion where I could be with my mom and dad, and I remember that so well. That's one thing that stands out as a child, driving through the deer park on Grant's Farm with mom and dad, because mom would always request 1 or 2 of the kids to come coaching with them after work in the afternoon at Grant's Farm. That was Dad's way of having relaxation and chilling out.
Like some guys
basically.
would go play golf or whatever. Your dad wanted to go.
He
take
wanted
the
to drive the
Clydesdales out.
horses,
Yeah.
exactly. So to be able to get on the coach, sit between mom and dad, and just listen and watch, and not really say much, because back then you
only
could be
spoke when you
seen
were
but
talking,
not
right?
heard, right?
I was
That's
just
the
gonna
way
say,
it was.
sure,
Yeah,
And
seen,
right?
very
not
different
It's
world.
not so much
Kids
that
just
anymore.
speak all the time now.
Exactly. Now the kids
We need
speak
that
too
back.
dang much sometimes,
We
right?
need it back.
Right. But just to listen and to really feel what was going on. And I talk about it in the book. You know, it was late summer. It was kind of this time of year. I'll never forget, and the elk were starting to bugle out in the deer park, and the leaves were slowly starting to change, and the buckeyes were coming on the trees and almost starting to fall off, and we always loved that. And to be able to be with mom and dad and listen to him talk about his day and how the brewery was going, and how sales were going, and not only the good stuff but the challenges, was always very interesting to me, and it was great to listen to. And then he'd ask me, what did you do today? Well, it was still summertime, so I wasn't in school yet. I said I worked on the farm, and he'd ask me exactly what I did, and so I had to explain it all to him. I took care of the sheep today. I had to muck the stalls in the sheep pen, and whatever else there
Right.
was to do. And then he had such an eye for detail, and that's, I think, what made him such an incredible executive at the brewery and such a great leader at the brewery, was because everything had to be in perfect place. Not, on Grant's Farm, I'm sure very similar to how things had to be at the brewery. The beer had to be perfect. Everything had to look great. Everything immaculately cleaned and all that. And if something was out of place, he'd see it right away and he'd let us know, go take care of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think too, even though you grew up in a castle and the life that you led, it also was a different time in the fact that we're just talking about speak when you're spoken to. But your dad, when he came home, which is nice, we're so distracted. We come home with computers and phones and technology. And so when you came home in the days when we were little, you came home. It was that quiet time of you actually talked to one another.
Yes.
You weren't, he didn't get to catch up what you did because you put it on Facebook.
Right.
He had to actually ask you, what you did for the day.
Or tell you to take it off because it's on Facebook.
Or take it off because it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Maybe that too. So it was probably, even though it was different the way you are with your kids now, the relationship and the communication that you had was really strong at the same time. Because
It
you
was
actually
good communication.
communicated.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. I think sometimes I even catch myself, like when we're all sitting together, getting on my phone, looking to see if I received an email or a text or needed to talk. It never stops today.
Right.
With all these instruments that we have, and so. Yeah, to be able to put that away is so important, especially this day and age when you have all this stuff coming at you.
Well, before we take to a commercial break and come back and talk about your new venture in life and that as well, and you say in your book that you felt like Elf. You lived in this bubble of the North Pole, and when you finally ventured out and saw that there's a whole nother world out there, was quite incredible. So just tell us before we go to break what it was like living inside, knowing now that there's a difference. Of course, you live in a beautiful home now as well, but the difference of growing up there, what is that? I know you told us your fondest memory, but what it was like there, then we're going to go to now when we come back after break.
I'd love to.
So tell us now before you,
Oh,
just give us
I'm
something to go
sorry.
to break to talk about of what it was like running around the castle.
Yeah,
we just get to look
growing
at it
up-
from afar.
Growing up on Grant's Farm, it was a gated community, right? So you're all fenced in, and the people there all knew you. And then when finally, I started moving out, and one great example of that was when, and I talk about this in the book, when my brother and I went to Switzerland to stay with my grandmother over there, because my mom was from Switzerland. So we stayed with her mother. And we got on these, we called them trochenettes, so they're like little scooters, and we rode them around all of Lucerne, Switzerland there, where my grandmother lived, and we stayed with her for 6 weeks, and we thought everybody around there knew us, and we got lost one time, and we went up to strangers and said, "Hey, we're the Busches. Where's our house? Where do we live?"
Like,
and they
who?
looked at us like, "Who are you?"
Got a little taste of humble pie.
Yeah. So it was like, what? They don't know who the heck we are.
Who are you?
So that was the youngest. That was the youngest memory I have of being out and realizing.
being a person.
Being a person.
Well, we are here with Billy Busch right now. We're going to come back, talk more, find out about the great things that's happening out in Defiance, Missouri, right here on the Lou Information Station, KLIS 590. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In Your City Show right here at the Lou Information Station, but we're not actually at the station. We are coming to you from Studio STL 17, which means on the 17th floor.
You just like saying that?
I think I do. It's just so high up. Normally we just walk right in the door off. Yeah, we're not in a castle like Billy over here, but we are in like the high-rise apartment up here, so we're feeling kind of cool. So welcome back. We appreciate that you're here. We're coming back for the second half hour, and we still have Billy Busch with us. Thank goodness, because we have so much more to talk about. It's kind of funny. Like I come in and I have all these notes and these questions. I really haven't. I don't even know where I'm at on it because I've just been like talking away.
Oh, this is more fun. Don't look at that.
Yeah, we don't need
I
that
just
stuff.
want to make sure that I don't miss anything or talk. I mean, your book has so much information in it, and it's really a very good read, and it really takes you into your life, and you're very honest as well, and that's so appreciative because you were just talking about in the break that sometimes you almost wish that you could be on still during the break because there's like so much more that get talked about. That your great grandfather was of 22
He was 20. He had 21 brothers
that
and
you're talking
sisters.
about.
So he came from 22. He was 21 of 22 kids, the 21st of 22 kids.
and then he had 13.
And then he had 13, and then my
look at you
dad
all.
had 11. My grandfather had 5, so my dad's dad had 5. So we come from a big family. And then
I can't even
my
follow
mom and
the
dad
graph
had,
that you
had
have in
7
there. Your mom
together. My mom and dad had
Right.
7 together, and dad
And here
had
you
2
are.
from his first wife and 2 from his second wife.
And I love watching
So
the
11
show
in all.
because I remember the girls saying, "Oh, we have big parties," and it's like
You
there's
have to with
hundreds
that
of
many-
people there now.
They're all
I'm thinking, well,
family.
it was just the family.
Yeah, exactly.
just the family there. So your kids are you have a Billy Busch Jr., which is your oldest son,
Right.
And then Gussie, of course, you've taken a family name.
Yep.
Peter's a family name. Are the girls? Are they family names?
They
as
are
well?
not. No. And then there's Haley, Abigail, Abby, Grace, and Madison or Maddie. Yeah.
Do they ever say, "Why didn't we get a name? Why aren't I Lily? Why didn't I get Lily's name?"
Yeah, they could have been Gertrude. You know, there's a
Oh, gosh,
Gertrude
thank
or
goodness you
Beatrice
didn't do
or
that.
something
Beatrice,
like that.
that's good. Gertrude,
Yeah.
Bertha, those kind of names that
You
go
don't hear
back.
anymore.
Yeah, you just don't hear that
There's
anymore.
a good reason why, maybe.
Right, right.
Like my dad's name was Harry, which came back because of Prince Harry, I guess. But
Oh, sure.
it's not really a name. How do you look at a little baby and go, Harry?
Isn't that the truth? I know. A little bald kid. Harry.
So your family gets together. You decide, you know what? It's been, well, first of all, you're the first to write a book that's coming from the source rather than
Exactly.
somebody coming up with their own words and then trying
Mm-hmm.
to get someone to stand behind it. You and your wife actually sifted through letters and boxes and things to find out more, because obviously you're here for only so long to be able to know about the family. And then you were very honest, talking about everything from good to bad.
Oh, sure.
How
You
was
know,
that doing that?
It really kind of helped me understand myself better.
Ooh,
I enjoyed every minute of it, honestly. You know, just to be able to talk about some of the sad times and understand a little bit better what happened in life and how my life turned out the way it did. And then to be able to relay that to my kids and let them know kind of where they came from. But I was so lucky, you're right. I was able, my dad left boxes and boxes of letters and relics of things that from his grandfather, from his father, excuse me, from his wives before my mom, from even some girlfriends that he had. And he talked about the business and some of the documents that were left behind. And so to be able to sift through all that and to read these letters and some of the letters that mom and dad wrote back and forth to each other, and even some letters where they were going through the divorce, and they were, you could tell that it wasn't quite at the point that they got to the divorce, but they were having big problems, and that things. From those letters, you could just read into a lot of things, and to be able to have those letters and to talk about it and to really understand where I came from was cool as heck. I mean, to know that my great grandfather came over here as an adventurer, to come over from Germany. It wasn't called Germany then; it was Europe, and to come over and be on the Mississippi River because he knew the rivers very well because he grew up on the Rhine River over in Europe, and he knew business, and to learn the business and then to have the skill to get into the beer business and to grow the beer business with the innovation and the work that he had to put into it and the people person that he was just so interesting for me to see how that all transpired and how he grew this incredible company.
How intelligent he must be.
Yeah, and he was able to do that here in America, you know, and then to have a son who took over for him and kept it going and then was able to keep it going through Prohibition, through a very difficult time, and keep thousands of employees employed during that very difficult time, because you had the Great Depression during that time too, it's just an amazing accomplishment, and I'm so proud of after reading that, and how they stuck it out and kept it going, and then how my grandfather's oldest son, Adolphus, took the company over, and he was older than my dad, so he was he had the first right to take things over, and how he kept it going through World War II, and the patriotism that he exhibited during World War II to give back to the country, to help the country win the war, was just amazing, and
Did you meet any of the presidents coming through your home?
Yeah, you know, Lyndon Johnson came to our home. I kind of remember him a little bit, but I remember my mom and dad going to Texas and hunting on their farm, on their ranch in Texas with Lady Bird and Lyndon Johnson. And other than that, I don't remember any other
I bet you have met
presidents.
A lot of people in your
But
in your
Harry
days.
Truman came to Grant's Farm and went coaching with Dad, and Dad loved Harry Truman. And of course, he loved Franklin Roosevelt, because Franklin Roosevelt ended Prohibition.
Yeah,
And you
that's
could
their best
sell beer
friends.
again. Beer
It was
was
so
back.
crazy that I found out that Truman was like one of our youngest presidents. And I did
He
not
was.
know that. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, he was one of our youngest presidents. I got to ask you, because something that was on my mind while you're sifting through photos and letters and things like that, what is the one thing that just jumped out at you and just surprised you the most out of looking through all of that?
I would have to say the thing that surprised me the most was the fact that the family was able to keep the business going and become the #1 brewery in the world, and just what it took, the grit and the determination to succeed, and nothing was given to them. You know, they had to work
Right.
for everything. And it killed my grandfather, because that 13 years of Prohibition where they couldn't sell beer put so much stress on him, keeping all his, and how they loved their employees, and how their employees loved working for the company, the pride that it had. All that just took me by a great surprise, and also about how patriotic the company became, how it backed the USA in all the different wars that we got into. Desert Storm was one of them, and of course World War I and World War II. And my dad was a colonel in World War II, and his job was really to go out and get industries to support America during the war. And he became a colonel doing that. And they really gave a lot back. You know, my family gave a lot back to the country, to the community. And I thought that was just amazing. And then the other thing that really stood out was what a genius my father was in marketing. You know, how he built theme parks around the breweries. When he opened up 9 different breweries around the United States, going just from the one here in St. Louis and then 9 more around the United States, and opening up the theme parks. And, you know, the first thing when the kids turn 21 after going to the Busch Gardens, what are they going to drink? They're going to drink a Budweiser, right?
Yeah.
And that's what made it the household name it became, the Budweiser. It's because of that great marketing, and then buying the Cardinals just really to market the products, and not being able to call it Budweiser Stadium, so they named it Busch Stadium, and then they came out with Busch Bavarian, a beer.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so it was just incredible marketing, and then that carried on with my brother, and then his son August the 4th, and they did the Frogs and Spuds McKenzie and all those
Remember all
Oh
the
my gosh,
different
yes.
wonderful marketing that AB had, which won all the Super Bowl awards, right? When we were there in the Super Bowl, and the Clydesdales, of course, were the biggest.
Do you find that fascinating, that all of the stuff that you see and how their family values and everything that they've gone through, but now we see that in you? And so it's kind of like, it's interesting. Does that kind of touch your heart to say, they instilled that into me as a young child, but even reading it from your great grandfathers and stuff like that, do you see a lot of yourself in them now?
You know, I wish I could say I saw more because they were so successful, and the beer business today is.
I mean, as a person,
is so
there's
difficult.
so much to be said about success.
Yeah.
But success can be talked about in many different levels, not just so much in money,
Yeah,
but
I
as
hear
a
you.
person.
I hear you. As a person, I do feel like I have been gifted the ability to go out and to, build a wonderful family and to be faithful and to really have my priorities right. And I did learn a lot of that, not necessarily from my dad. He was kind of a wild guy.
Yeah, but
But looking back at my
Yeah.
great-grandfather and my grandfather,
learn
they
from
were
that.
very, very loyal to their wives, and they had incredible, tight, very structured families. I think what happened when it started to kind of break apart was, and I'm not speaking badly about my dad, but I'm just telling you that I think when you're married several times and you don't have that tight-knit family anymore, and then you start trying to keep the company in the family for
Right.
another generation, it becomes more and more difficult. And looking back at it now and understanding it the way I learned to understand it from writing the book, I really think that tight families are very important to really have in order to continue a generational businesses.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's very important, but you could start seeing after learning about this the cracks that started appearing, and then of course what happened with my dad and my half brother, how the company was taken from my dad in a very harsh way actually, and it was because of the competitiveness. We didn't come from the same mother, so I'm sure there was competition
Yeah.
and worry, if you will, about who was going to get it next. Could it be my dad's oldest, my oldest brother from my mom, or could it be the oldest son of my dad from another mother? And so I'm sure, so everybody was kind of jockeying for position, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well,
that's what happens.
I like one of my favorite songs is called Chain Breaker, and I think you're a chain breaker because you're a family man, doing everything great, and now you're starting this new.
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk
that.
about the
Let's-
new things. Let's
And
talk about the new stuff.
Gordon, let me
about-
just say that I've been very, very fortunate because of what was left to me because of the hard work of my ancestors and my dad, that I have not had to go out and kill myself working because I was left enough to be able to really spend time with my family and have and raise my children with my wife and take a big part as a father in that. So I'm very, very fortunate for that. So I have a lot to be thankful for to my
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
family members that worked so hard.
Well, I hope your family will read your book. I hope that they will maybe take the time to even watch your show to really see what kind of people you are, and hopefully some of those family members that maybe you've been not able to be a part. I mean, we can't choose our family. We can choose
Right.
our friends.
Right.
But maybe it will help some understanding and bring that back. But I'm really excited about being able to find out about your new place, which is your Busch Family Brewing and Distilling, your Busch Farm, which is out there in Defiance, which is absolutely gorgeous. We went out there, we took our grandson and got to enjoy an evening with the concert. I thought we were going to see.
I was out there for the flag run too. That was fun.
I thought we were going
were
out
you
to
for
see
the
the
ca-
Buck
for
and
the
Broncos.
rodeo? Yeah.
So we're going to have to come back because I missed that. I had the
September
wrong
6th.
night. So September 6th, that's coming up because that I cannot wait to watch. But you go out there, it's beautiful. You have so much going on. And in the show, Gate kind of enlightened us how, you wanted to bring brewing back to the Busch family. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that and the name of your beer, which,
Sure.
well, you're not wearing that hat. You've got the Busch
Yeah,
family
Busch family
on.
hat on.
You usually have the Craftic on.
Right,
so
right.
tell us a little bit about this dream that's happening.
Yeah, and you're sorry about that. And you're right. I really felt a strong tie and a strong reason or calling to continue the brewing portion of the brewing business, because my family had done it for so long, and I just felt I was in the beer business all my life in one respect or another, whether it was on the entertainment side with Grant's Farm and maintaining Grant's Farm and keeping the place beautiful for the public, or whether it was in the distribution side of it when we had distributorships, and I worked at the distributorships delivering beer to retailers down in Houston and down in Florida. So I was around it all my life, and I loved it, and it was always something that we were very successful and good at doing. And when it left our hands back in 2008, InBev came in and took over the company. I just felt a strong calling that we needed to keep that wonderful tradition alive. So we started a company called the William K. Busch Brewing Company, and we came out with 2 beers, Kräftig and Kräftig Light, and we contracted those beers. We didn't have our own brewery, so basically we were more of a marketing company than a brewing company, but we felt that we could make the beer, we wouldn't have to spend the money on the brewery, and we could spend the money on marketing and grow the beer that way, and then eventually have our own brewery. Well, it didn't work out that way. At every turn, we were getting shot down by the bigger guys, out there, InBev, AB InBev, and Miller and Coors, and they were always, not allowing us to get traction. We couldn't get things going in different retail stores.
Do they not know who you are? I need to call them.
No, I think they knew who I was, and that's what worried them. So to get
They were
promotions,
keeping them from getting momentum. Is what they were trying to
we
do.
couldn't get momentum, and to get promotions, and we had a great, for instance, we had a great promotion at Busch Stadium, which InBev came in and told the concessionaire there they better take it down, or else they'd pull their products out. So of course they had to take it down. It was just that kind of stuff. We kind of had a target on our back because of the name. Honestly, the name helps you in a lot of ways, but it can hurt you also. So we did that. I did that for about 8 or 9 years, and worked hard. We had distribution in all of Missouri and a big portion of Illinois and Kansas and Wisconsin and Texas, and trying to grow the business. And it's just impossible. And the margins are so thin that if you're not selling hundreds of thousands of barrels, it's really hard to sustain.
Sure.
And so we decided. I talked to the family. I said, let's just build our own little brewery out at the farm. We can go back to my roots, basically, our roots, because my kids grew up at Grant's Farm. We can open the place up to the public. They can come out and they can drink our own beer, and we can have Kräftig and Kräftig Light there, which people loved. And so we'll keep that going, and we can name some of the beers after the ancestors in honor of them. So we have like the Gussie Bavarian and the Adolphus Pilsner, and now we have the Eberhardt Barrel Aged beer, which is Eberhard Anheuser, my great-grandfather from the Anheuser side, and great-great-grandfather that would be. And so that's what we did. And I got to tell you, I love every minute of it, because the people that come out, like you said, Kelly, you enjoyed it, and Gordon, you had a great time. And your granddaughter loved it. It's a great family atmosphere.
Yeah.
Parents, grandparents can come out, sit around, eat, drink some cold beer or
Relaxing.
anything
And I know
they
they
want.
showed some photos. I mean, there's water that's around you, the fountains out there, the Clydesdales are there.
Right.
You just got in the alpaca.
Yes.
The big long bullhorns.
The Texas Longhorns.
Thank you.
Longhorns, yep.
Then my favorite,
Which was bullying the new what are they, the Highlander cows.
my personal favorite.
Yeah,
I was
the
about to say
Scotch
the Highlander
Island
Yeah, they were
cow.
bullying the Highlander
Yep.
Oh my!
cows
She
the
was
other day.
so muddy. I think it was a she. Was it? It was
Yeah.
a she. She was so cute, and she had mud all over her. And of course, we loved petting her. But it's really fun. It is very much a family environment out there.
It sure
Coming up
is.
in October, you're gonna have a corn maze.
Yeah, we'll have the
going on
corn
there.
maze out there. We have 2 more rodeos coming up in September and October. We've got 2 more music fests out there. We dropped the prices to get more people out to the music fests. And
Look at this kid.
and we get almost 2,000
look on his
people out there
face.
for the rodeo, and the kids love it because they get to do the
Now-
mutton busting.
I noticed the sack races.
And the
Did that
sack
come
races.
from? Did that come from
The
the show?
family,
Because I know
yeah.
you wanted to
That's
instill
right.
the sack races. We got to have the sack races.
That's
You were
right.
out there dancing yourself out there. But what a great thing to be able to do with your family and be together on this and build something that obviously sounds like it's going to continue to grow.
I think so.
I mean, one of the things you're careful about is not ruining the gorgeous country land. What is it, 700 acres?
Yeah, we have 700 acres in all, but we designate about 150 just to the brewery and for the people
So
to
that you're not
enjoy.
taking away from
Right.
the beautiful land that you have. So you appreciate that you're not going to go bulldozing that down for
Exactly.
something. But it's really lovely. And it's gorgeous inside the building where you can go. Now, I know that you have a food service, but do you also make some things that you can eat when you go in? That's
yeah.
right on site then?
Oh yeah, we make our own food. For the most, yeah, we have our own food there.
But larger events, you'd have someone come in.
And for larger
Okay.
events, we bring in food trucks or we get a caterer too. So we're partnering with Butler Pantry, as a matter of fact, on
Right.
some things. So they help us out, and then we have the food trucks. There's a couple food trucks that just do an amazing job that we bring out, like the Mexican food truck, and they make great margaritas, by the way. And then we have an incredible chef, and he makes, well, to me, it's the world's best hamburger out there.
There's nothing better
Oh.
than a good hamburger or
Yeah, nothing
cheeseburger,
better than a
that's
good
for sure.
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So when you think of Busch Farm, you think of your Busch Family Brewing and Distilling. What achievement? Well, how do you feel passionately about that when you walk through those gates there, or drive through the gates, I should say?
When I drive through the gates, I feel kind of like my dad did when he came to Grant's farm and he checked out the farm to make sure everything was perfect. Everything had to look just right, and everything had to be clean. And I feel very much like my dad had felt back when he was, the boss, and he was running things at the brewery and at Grant's farm. And very proud too to be able to open a place up for people to come out and really enjoy. And what makes it great is when you see people smiling and laughing and having a great time and coming up to me all the time and saying, we love it out here. And we get regulars back all the time. So that's a real good indication that people are enjoying themselves.
Absolutely. Well, it's wonderful. I'm so sad that we literally are going to have to say goodbye. It makes me sad. What do you want to say to someone out there that is a family and they're in business together? How can you inspire them and give them some words of wisdom? Because you've definitely lived a life of large families and now your very own.
Yeah. I would say, you first of all, you have to do what makes you happy. You have to be passionate about what you and love what you do, because if you're going to have your own business, it's a lot of work, and you gotta so enjoy every minute of it. And if you don't enjoy it, it's going to be torture. So enjoy what you do. Don't force it on your kids if they want to be involved. If they want to be involved, that's icing on the cake, but that doesn't always happen like that, unfortunately. And I think my kids will come around a little bit down the road. Right now, they're not too into it, but that's okay.
They've got their dreams.
They've got their own dreams, and they're doing some great things too.
You brought them up to build their dreams, so that's
right.
even more important. And you've actually told me about one of the dreams that the boys are doing, and we look forward to sharing that as well. And I wish we had another hour with you. You can pick up the book, Family Reins. I got my very own that, of course, he's going to have to sign before we leave. I just went to Amazon, and there it was.
There it is
there any other special place I need to let him know? But Amazon works.
Yeah, I think you can get it at the bookstores around town here. So
It's a great read.
Pretty much where books are sold.
You'll be pleasantly surprised. So, Billy Busch, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. We look forward to all the things coming up. It's actually going to be on the cover of our magazines here coming up in October. So you're going to enjoy getting to read the story that we're going to share with you as well in the City Lifestyle magazine. So thank you so much for tuning into the In Your City show. Check us out at KLIS 590 AM or theluinfo.com 24/7 streaming. And until our next show, you can say it with us, Billy. You got to say cheers. Cheers.